introduce you just for a second here. But how many of you have been with Kris Ann where she's spoken before and heard her speak before? Oh, great. And followed her on Facebook and read some of her books? You've got a friendly crowd here. You know, the last time you were here, Kris Ann, I made a post on Facebook about how much I had learned. Yes. And somebody made some kind of a statement about you don't need to be a state representative if you're still learning the Constitution. And folks, I tell you what, I wish we had more of our legislators. You were down in Little Rock this week. We only had 3 or 4 of them, of us there. But folks, we have got to learn more about our Constitution. And I heard you try to describe yourself. Other people describe you as a constitutional scholar. And you know about all those things. What you are is a great teacher.
Well, thank you.
And it's an opportunity for us to learn. So at this, I'm going to turn it over to you, Kris Ann. Thank you.
I want to be sure that you understand that although we only had 3 or 4 representatives there at the Capitol building, we had a lot of people that were really important there. And I'm talking about you, the people of Arkansas. I don't mean any disrespect to Mr. Dan, but you're more important than your representatives.
Amen.
And that's something that we have lost sight of. Because you see, we have trained up a society of people to believe that we have to send someone to government to fix what's wrong with government. That's not how it works. Seriously, when has a farmer ever bought a pig to clean up the pen? And again, that's no disrespect, but it's an analogy that we have to understand. We cannot do that. We are the farmers. We are the employers. And in employee law, when an employee acts negligently within their position to the detriment of other people, yes, the employee is responsible, but the employer is also responsible. It's called vicarious responsibility. We have a responsibility for the destruction before the damage, as well as for the good things that happen in government, because we are the employers. And we've got to get rid of this idea that we have in our mind that the first thing and the last thing that we are to do is vote. Seriously. If all we do is vote, there's no wonder we are where we are. Voting is not how we control government. That's not even how it was designed. Voting is your responsibility as a responsible member of a Republican government. Now that's not the party, right? That's the style. What you do every other day of every other year is the control of government. And if we just simply go to the ballot box once every 4 years, if you're really diligent, once every 2 years, and then you do nothing every other day, you're not controlling government. Government is controlling you. So if our version of government is what we do when we sit in front of the computer or we sit in front of the TV and we watch what mainstream media tells about us, or we attend a meeting, or we go to a town hall meeting and we just sit and watch, then we're not an engaged constituency. We are not fulfilling our obligation, not just to ourselves, but to our children. And so I want to come here today not to just simply educate you. I'm not here to just make your brain 2.5 ounces heavier with the knowledge and the new synapses that we're creating. I'm not here to fill up space in your day. I am here to equip you sound good and they make good bumper stickers that simply are not true. Knowledge is not power. I mean, you heard knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power until it is activated. How many of you don't know very smart people that do absolutely nothing at all? As a teacher in a university, I see students and I think, my goodness, you are so gifted, you are so talented, you are so intelligent, and yet they don't want to do anything. There's no power in that. That's like having a 400,000 watt light bulb and never plugging it in. We've got to get plugged in. But that has to begin with knowing what we need to know. I have a really good friend in New York. And yes, there are conservatives in New York. There are even constitutionalists in New York. There's a good number of them. They bring us to New York at least twice a year. I actually spent more time teaching in New York than any other state in the Union, with the exception of maybe Texas and Florida, because I actually live in Florida. My friend in New York says, you know what the problem is, Kris Ann? The people don't know what they don't know. Reagan would say, we have our friends who know a lot. They just know a lot about what ain't so. So we've got to get educated so that we can get activated. So that we can get inspired to get moving. Because let me tell you what, if inspiration is not your drive, this is not something you can sustain. If you think you're going to get rich doing this, let me tell you, I've been doing this for 11 years. You don't get rich doing this. Ask Gary. Where's Gary? Did he run away? Gary's nervous about what I'm going to say today. Are you getting rich, Gary?
Well, this is a pretty expensive trip for me.
I mean, think about it. We travel all over the United States. Plane tickets, rental cars, hotels. Add on top of that food. I mean, you have any idea how much it costs to eat out every single meal for a